All right, 4 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get the drainage committee meeting started. The record, thank all members are present. Item number 1, update Lord Texas Monterey Conshan Road and Himalaya Canal project. Anyone from South Park? Any updates, Mr. Broke? Still waiting on nobody.
Put it on for a year and 3 months.
Yeah, man,
Put it
you-
for the next 3 years.
Yep, all right, let's table that until Mr. South.
Yeah, so we get some information. I have to do something here.
I did have a conversation with him about a week and a half ago, and he had indicated that March 20th would be the date that he would be complete with the plan.
All right, item number 2, request approval to sweep out the ditches and culverts from Highway 1 in Plottenville to the hospital bridge in Appointville, both sides of the street. Mr. Aaron?
No, sir.
That's not Mr. Chris.
Oh, my bad, that is me.
That would be
worse.
Okay, so over the last couple of years, I made several requests to get some ditches swept out along LA1 in the Plottenville, Bertrandville area. And we always turn it over to the state, and they still haven't got done. The line that got so bad, we got the water starting to back up into some of the houses. It's not getting in, but it's right there, maybe about an inch or two on a couple of them. The ditches are so filtered up, where they're blocking more than half of the covers on some areas. We would like to get those dug. I mean, this is a taxpayer just like anybody else in the parish. I know it's a state highway, but if the state not gonna do it, then, we need to get it done regardless.
I agree with that. Aaron, can you get out there, give it Chris and see? You get us a cost estimate on there. I agree with Chris on it. Pay taxes too in the parish, so we can't rely on the state.
If that's the case, we gotta do them all.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
not all of them, but some that's emergency.
All of
It's
mine,
a-
man.
It's a coincidence it comes up with something that's kind of just got kicked off today. That I spoke to Mr. Calabro about. We're running into a lot of issues with some of these things in states right of ways, whether it be just culverts, ditches, or some outfalls that were put in place by them a long time ago. Due to political pressure or the lack of the speed of their workforce, it was kind of a common practice for us to start maintaining some of those things in-house. Every now and then we're running across some things that I kind of feel like maybe we shouldn't be kind of held liable for, because it's technically theirs. And it's happening in all the awards. I mean, we just popped up another one in Ward 4 the other day that we didn't even get to address yet. I don't know if it's something that maybe y'all would want to call them to the table to kind of speak to them and maybe put some fire on
I
them.
really
or-
think we need to call a state representative to come to the meetings, because I see a lot of stuff done in other parishes from the state, so where y'all get the equipment from? Oh, we use it from Baton Rouge. They got equipment and they got people working for them. They're not doing it in Assumption Parish.
But I have gotten to do 403 from Baton Rouge. That was a couple of years ago, but I would have to call them representative, getting all of them involved. But the problem is you gotta wait so long. Some of these residents can't wait that long. I mean, we need to get people
I
involved to
understand
get the
that.
work done, but in the meantime,
We need to call them to the
we need to
table.
get this other work done.
Yeah, and I mean, look, we've done a little bit in all of your wards and state right of ways, emergency wise. Like, I mean, something's coming about to go in somebody's house. I'm like, yeah, pull the trigger, let's go take care of it. I mean, we try to save somebody's property. I guess it was geared a little bit more towards some of these bigger things, kind of like what's going on at the car wash, like those things. It's really becoming something like every other week, something else is popping up. So, I kind of looking for guidance on which way y'all want to turn. I'm willing to go wherever, but I just need to know what direction to go.
If
You know, once you do it one time, then it's gonna be like, we own it. We gotta do it.
It
forever.
doesn't matter. If it's an emergency and it's gonna prevent some water from going in somebody's house, go and dig the ditch.
Yeah, I'm 100% on And, board. and I'm good with that, but I don't think every culvert between Plottenville.
No, I don't want to
Well, it's not-
maintain
it's not-
everything.
It's not every cover between there, but the whole area need to be dug out. But the ones that, the emergency one, I can get with Paul or Aaron and show it to them.
Right, then I'd like us to schedule a meeting with the area engineer with DOTD and the representative and Senator Alain. Let's all be in the same room
Yeah.
and express this issue for general maintenance throughout. Let them know that we're gonna take care of these emergency issues where people's houses are flooding, but
that general maintenance needs to occur.
They're not doing the work at all.
Keep our time on that we spend on these ditches. That way we may be able to get reimbursed by some kind of material or something from the yard. All right, so give it to Chris on that, Aaron, and see.
I'll take that as an action item to set up a meeting
Okay.
with both DOTD and the representative.
Okay, thank you. All right, item number 3, request approval to cancel project 93-238 and reallocate the funds to dig outfall canal near Locust Road. 1, 2.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I got funds elsewhere if I need it somewhere, so I just want to table that
Right,
request.
table that. Item number 4, request approval to purchase new 16-inch slow lift pump, electric motor starter panel, and deck reconstruction materials for Andrea Street, Ward 3.
Yeah, this is gonna be for the 2 16-inch low lifts that with the Go Mesa funds, just like to get the pump in, that way we can get the minimum draft and set the deck elevation to the pump at the correct height. So just get the ball rolling on that.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard.
We need to.
Are you using the funds for that one?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So this is one of the 2 that we approved at the last meeting?
Yes.
I just put together a cost
You got it.
estimate. I'll
You
give
got
it to
it.
you, Kim.
You got the cost estimate on it, Ron?
Yes, so he had a couple options. So the estimated total was $51,798. But he also had some existing materials that we ordered on a previous job that would accommodate some of this cost. So we did a cost reduction of $1,696, which brought the total down to $50,102 for the complete purchase. I have some papers for you guys, like,
Yeah, and the material for the deck construction will be 93046. I already have that covered. The 4590 will cover Brian's 4326 estimate, so it'll be just a little shy of 50,000.
should be $50,102, pretty close.
No, yeah,
2 16-inch pumps?
that's one, for that location.
Could you mentioned
That's all you need in
another
that location?
Yeah, just one there. The other 16 is going to a different location.
Okay.
That's the only pump you need? What about the other pump that's burnt? What's the status on
The
that?
10-inch on Cecilia, do we have? a
The
status on
motor,
that?
we're gonna work through it. We just had, it wasn't, included, but there is a motor we're gonna have to order. I would like to convert it to 3-phase, which would be the same additional cost as the Hugh Street pump. But it wasn't here, but you would be looking at about $16,012 total. To do a 3-phase conversion or $7,900 to replace
I would
it.
rather not convert it, we'll just wait till we move everything to Felicia Street.
So we're gonna go with the $7,900
Yes.
motor replacement.
You got the funds for that one, or you want to take it out to Go Mesa?
It'll be cutting it close out. How much I'll be short? I don't have the price on that single phase
It's
motor.
about $7,900.
7,900.
Yeah, it's a little bit less.
It'll be
but
close
we'll
because,
give it-
because the Andrew Street deck, that 40-something hundred, I already have that allocated under another line item, so it'll probably need about 3,000.
Something there.
It'd be, well, we can iron that out.
Yeah, it'll be really close, relatively close. That's gonna come out of Gomesa also, and $4,000.
You say, Ron?
It's gonna come out of Gomesa and
4,000 will come out of 93046.
Okay.
Platform, the materials for that
Okay.
platform.
That's the separate item, correct?
right.
Yeah, but the pump goes on that platform. 2 different funding sources.
So we use that allocation and remaining amount will come out of your Gomesa.
Correct.
All right, I need a motion to accept, the purchase of the new 16-inch slow lift pump. Motion by Mr. Patero, second by Mr. Bro. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, request approval for additional funds for project 93-233 in amount of $8,860, Ward 6.
Yeah, this is the project, that took place in Ward 6, like I was speaking about the car wash in, Bankville. We had to, again, purchase more materials to finish it, after the exploratory dig, when we found a large sinkhole and outfall code.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Bro, in the amount of $8,860. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6.
So Aaron, 8860 takes you to the 9460?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was,
Okay.
I was hoping you caught that.
Right.
Item number 6, request approval to lower culverts to proper elevation in 200 block of Yule Street. Ward
This-
6.
This was a location on U Street where we had noticed when we were sweeping ditches several months ago. That the elevations were off on the culverts. We knew we needed to go back and lower them. There were some residents there that were redoing driveways like for cement. And again, so we went ahead and just pulled the trigger and go do it so these people can finish with their driveways instead of having to go back and cut and bust up people's new cement just to reset the culverts. Then we had to purchase some culverts and tees.
Who installed these culverts?
I have no idea.
Was it our guys?
Oh, gosh.
What do you mean you have no idea?
He wasn't the parish manager
Wasn't
then.
working here.
It was done, on a road project, to widen the street of Ewell Street, it's so narrow. And when they put them down just a shadow, so it got to the point where there was no dirt left on top of the covers, the vehicle just rolling over pure of plastic, cracking them all up.
All right, so it's our guys that originally had put them down.
Yeah, the archer had to put them down.
All right. All right, so motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Patterson, all in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, request approval for additional funds for project 93-245 in the amount of $2,883. Ward 7.
This is additional materials and labor after we did the initial cost estimate for Law Street in Ward 7.
All right. That'd be a total cost of $3,593.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Blanchard. Second by Mr. Bro, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, request of approval to purchase new 8-inch low lift pump, electric motor, VFD panel, and deck reconstruction materials for Hugh Street, Ward 8.
So Jamie, the way I broke it down, as you can see, the material cost utilizing wood for the 10x10 deck would be estimated material cost $2,672. If we reverted to metal, it would be an estimated construction cost of $10,000. But my recommendations would be that we perform the wood construction at $2,672, replace the low lift pump as per Parish bid. That would be an option because the pump was put there in 1995, so it's 30 years old. I'm sure it's not pumping at its capacity. A new VFD converter at $7,900, a new 3-phase electric motor to accommodate the VFD controller at $3,940. Update the electrical wiring and conditions because it's aged quite drastically. Estimated cost there would be $29,945. If we exclude the purchase of the new replacement low lift pump, that would bring us down to $16,012 using the existing pump. Meaning we would just put a new 3-phase motor on it and a VFD.
But we have to replace part of that wooden deck,
We have to replace the whole deck.
the whole deck.
Right.
All right.
So what I did was just took the cost of the low lift pump, subtracted it from the $29,945, which brought the total to $16,012. And that's including the rebuilding of the deck with 2 additional pylons.
Did we pull that pump to see what kind of condition it's in?
That pump has never been pulled since I've been here, almost, going to 9th year coming up. But I'm sure after 30 years, quite a bit of wear. It'd have to be blasted and painted.
Gonna be my recommendation that we, use part of the GOMESA, the ring levy funds to go ahead and secure the funding for this project.
Total of 16 grand?
You utilize 29 or 16?
We're gonna go with the 20, we might as well pull that pump too, if we're gonna have a brand new electric motor and everything brand
I
new.
understand, that's why I gave both options.
And take that pump out, check it out, get it rebuilt, that way we can
Where that
utilize it
pump's at?
somewhere else. Hugh Street,
That's on Highway 70.
it's on part of the ring levies, It was all part of the same plan, on Bayou Drive.
I know we had the levy on Highway 70. All the ring levies there, that's not on Highway 70.
No.
Why you taking money out of
That's,
it?
well, it's all included, Mark. It's all included. Rudy Verb, Derrick Street, that's all included in that same project. Or we could take this funding out, the capital outlay funding that was, allocated to it too.
We can't do that. Remember, that was where they said that we needed the plan pre-approved and it had to be a turnkey. We couldn't purchase just individual components. Am I correct, Brian?
Yes, and that's what I had explained before. That particular amount of money, we actually had to purchase everything, put it in place, become operational, and then turn around and ask for that amount.
All right, we'll just save that funding for the ring levies then. So let's just pull this out of the, ring levy funding. And then we'll use the capital outlay money back on the ring levies whenever we finalize all that project.
So I got a couple of projects on drainage, on pumps and everything. You take that out, go make it in 2 cents and whatnot
It all depends where it's at.
in the district.
Yeah, the category for the Gomesa projects is Ward
Yeah.
789 levy improvements. I mean, that's what
Yeah,
that
it's all
project is
included.
for.
I'm pretty sure I had all your levies included in
Yeah,
there too, Mark.
it is. That's good.
Just making sure.
Making sure, bro.
All right.
I'll make a motion to that effect for the 29,945 for the purchase of the 8-inch pump motor, VFD panel and deck reconstruction.
Now, Brian, all these electric motors that we're purchasing are the same motor, correct?
Right.
Okay.
I'm trying to make a comment.
Yes.
So we got,
All right,
One line
motion by Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Patterson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This is a question, who has a state bid on that?
on the pumps or M&L?
Okay, good.
So we bid it out, the panel, the starter panels, the electric motors and the pumps on a local parish bid.
How long is it gonna take for these parts to come in?
It's usually about 12 to 18 weeks when you order a pump. The motor and the VFD panel might only be 2 weeks. It just depends on the delay for the pump.
Right, because they're down to one pump now.
Right, understand?
We don't have any extras at the office right now, at the shop?
Actually, the one that I had refurbished is sitting on your other levy behind Corey's.
So just make sure whenever we take this one out, or we can pull it out and start refurbishing it now.
Right.
Right, item number 9, request to approve for additional funds for project 93-223 in amount of $64 for the,
Yeah, this is for the project for the GI Street levy. It's just additional labor needed.
Is there a typo on your
which one?
drainage
What
cover
amount is
sheet
it?
or?
I'm sorry, I had a typo to Katie. I was reading my notes wrong. It's 674. And,
674?
The cover sheet that I gave y'all, yep. I'm sorry, Katie.
It's okay, so.
Motion by Mr. Blanchard. Second by Mr. Grove, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, request approval for additional funds for project 93-222 in the amount of $364, Wardy.
And so that was a typo also. It's supposed to be $974.
74.
And that's just for additional labor.
Need a motion?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, request approved for additional funds for project 92-886 in the amount of $5,950.
This is
For the-
for the existing project on Oak Lane. The materials is gonna be to haul in more dirt, bring it to the correct elevation, and then the labor associated with it. It's gonna take the total to what was already allocated plus the 5950.
You mean take the total that was already allocated? You ain't gonna take that much.
Water materials that's already there in the existing project.
Then it's here for the meeting.
So right now we have $43,405.
Well, so the stuff for like when Brian, I know you purchased pumps, fuel tanks and everything already, so that, all that stuff hasn't been processed to take off of there yet.
Okay. Once y'all get that final number, if you can send it to me, Kim,
Which,
or
after
project
they make
number,
purchases you're talking about?
yes, after their purchases,
Okay, it's not gonna hit you after we pay bills.
okay?
So they gotta, if it takes,
The material,
if it
right.
takes weeks to get the
engine,
materials,
fuel
then
tank, All
invoices
of that
will be
same,
out.
correct?
Yes, it's sitting there, we just gotta go install it.
If you turn in the
Invoices and stuff?
invoices,
So they weren't, normally when we get it and we pick it up, the invoices should have been submitted already.
Okay, I'll have to look.
Like I said, they probably have, we just haven't.
They should have been
Because
submitted.
normally whenever I tell you that it's complete is whenever.
All the tools, M&Ls, all the engine purchases and, now we have 7 pumps that we have, they're in, but we haven't picked it up. Until we receive it, we're not gonna have an invoice on those yet.
all right, motion by Mr. Blanchard, yeah, I'm good.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, request approval for additional funds for project 92-980 in the amount of $5,500, Ward 9.
Then,
This is work that was going on the Mike Street,
levy work and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna take it out of 92967 project.
Well, hold on, Mark. He has 2,500 of it would be applied from Gomesa for the mat rental.
yeah, it's the travel match that we need to cross the bridge.
So it would be 3,000 for the laborers would,
Take 3,000 out of that.
So we already had this 2,500 allocated in Gomesa? We don't have funds left to allocate more. Is that a new allocation?
That was, it was the Northwest Highway 70 gravity
Okay,
drainage
so
district.
that's what I need to know what it's coming out.
Yeah,
Northwest LA 70 District Project?
yes, ma'am.
So 5,500 is new.
That's what-
2,500 has already been.
No, I need the 2,500 for the mat rental from the Northwest Highway 70 on Gomesa, and the 3,000 from his drainage allocation for labor.
Okay, it's these two, all right.
And it, like, I don't know what other project he said, pull it from.
92967,
So you putting 3,000 out of that one?
yes,
You got that, Kim?
I'm gonna try.
Alright.
Please.
Motion by Mr. Mathern,
second.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, request of approval for funds in the amount of $700 for the Long Reach excavator delivered to make necessary repairs to the Bell River Road Pump Station, Ward 9.
Yeah, it's just for,
Equipment moving?
yeah, the Ward 9 allocation, and just cover the move of the machine to get there to do maintenance.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Patterson, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, request of funds for in the amount of $700 for the Long Reach excavator delivery to make necessary repairs to the Paul Street Pump Station, Ward 9.
Same scenario, it's just to get the machine repaired, make some repairs.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Patterson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15, request of approval to purchase new pump, gear head, and deck reconstruction materials for Cross LaRue, Ward 9. You're gonna be out of money, Mark.
Well, we're using Gomesa money now.
You better watch, I'm gonna watch
We're
you.
using Gomesa money. Go ahead.
So after evaluating, we went out, we've had some issues and, the actual gearhead failed. Due to the pump. Those pumps were previously not in alignment, which was causing the gearheads to fail. So it overheated, the gearhead poured the oil out, it burned the bearings inside of it. It needs replacement. I went out for some quotes and got a price back at $2,935 for the pricing. The deck is, 10 by 10. So generically, the cost for materials there is about $2,126. And that would bring our cost up to $5,061. And that's your cost between building the deck and replacing that particular gearhead. A new pump was actually purchased with the hazardous mitigation stuff that is coming in, the replacement. So that's one that was, we haven't received it yet. That is out, we haven't got the invoice for it. So once those are in hand, we would have a new gearhead and a new pump to go behind that unit. And then we, of course, have to pull the other pumps and construct the deck.
So this is sorry, come on, go me.
So you don't need it to purchase the new pump. The pump has already been allocated,
Correct.
so you just need it for the gearhead.
I had
and
the pump
deck.
on there and I realized that we had already purchased it previously. So we can, disregard the pump purchase. This is only for the deck build and the replacement of the gearhead.
$5,061. Correct?
Correct.
Where does these deck replacements, where's the labor?
So I didn't put the parish labor in here because to me, it should be maintenance. Because those are deteriorated and rotted over the years. Aaron and I had talked about it a little bit. I mean, we used to put some in there, but I didn't include the parish labor because I don't have the spreadsheet anymore to calculate what the parish labor is and entail to and each individual's rate. If I could get that when I'm doing these estimates, I would be able to include some type of parish labor if you'd like, but I don't have access to
I just
that.
want to make sure that we're not applying the Go Mesa funds.
it's
to the
definitely
parish.
not
No, I know better than that.
It's still gonna be a
Okay.
drainage expenditure, it's just basically not gonna come out of the project budgets, it's gonna come out of the general
Correct.
drainage labor.
Yes, and I'm well aware we can't go waste the funds on any type of labor except for contract.
Just so y'all understand, y'all don't think of the allocations as the only thing coming out of that drainage budget, this
Right.
labor. that-
Motion.
All right, so we need a new pump here?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So where you got the funds?
Go me. Go me.
We've already purchased the pump previously through Gomez.
Just gearhead and deck.
All we purchasing right here is the materials and the gearhead,
All
$5,061.
right, motion by Mr. Mathern to take this out of the Go Mesa funds.
Yes.
That's non-bond or bond? Non-bond, right?
Bond.
Bond?
Bond
Bond is for
award
bond.
789 levy improvement.
Gotcha.
Mark,
Now,
don't go crazy with this, I'm telling you now.
Hey. You open the can up.
You're gonna get shut
Well, when it
down.
comes down to the ring levies, y'all just not
Yeah.
have enough money.
I understand that. That's something I gotta be paid, so.
All right, motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Mr.
Second.
Carter, second by Mr. Blanchard, meeting adjourned.
It is 4:29. We'll get the personnel committee started. Let the record reflect all members present. Item 1, discuss grants coordinator position.
Mr. Ron put that, he said if we want to table it till he gets here, he'll be here for the road and bridge.
Okay, just so that y'all know some background on this, we really need to come to the table and have a discussion about it. There's been some communication with Marietta, with, the housing department as well. It just can't stay where it is. The functionality of this position is impeding Marietta. I'll let her speak as well, but, I think it's compromising her ability to thoroughly and completely handle her accounting tasks.
Right.
And we just gotta move forward in a different direction.
Item 2, request approval for change of personnel manual section 10-2. Insurance premium must be in hand prior to the month of coverage. No advance to employees allowed.
Yeah, this came up, it's been quite some time now. If you remember, especially when we were, it's been quite a few years. We have to collect health insurance premiums in advance of us paying the bill, in advance of the month, because if the police jury were to pay a bill for premiums that we had not collected from the employee, that constitutes an advance to that employee, and advances to employees are not allowed. So we now collect health insurance premiums. In the month of March, we collect for the month of April. So when we pay that bill, we have it. So in the manual, it was never really changed as far as the dates and that. So that's what this is doing. It's not changing a procedure. It's the procedure we have. It's fixing the dates. And that's the same case for retirees as well.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Naki. All in favor? Any nays? Motion passes. Item three, request approval to end 6-month probationary period for Brian Blankenship, Paul Abear, Kent Bro, Russell Joy, Dwayne Broussard.
No, we can't table. it.
I
I mean, you
understand.
got, well, you got a few
Yeah.
individuals in here, but, the 6-month period is over.
Motion. I'm not on the thing.
Mr. Landry, you want to speak on this?
I mean, it's,
You good with it?
yeah, I guess it's
You
kind of.
sure?
Well, it's not really, that whole thing really in effect anymore. I mean, it's kind of. Now that we have an
Okay, I'm
assistant.
just making sure.
So moved.
After the conversation
Motion by
we had
Mr.
yesterday.
Carter.
Second.
So it's only gonna be taking the individuals off, basically,
Probationary.
Mr. Blankenship, Mr. Joa, and Mr. Bro. Because Mr. Paul Abear is gonna have to start a new probationary period, and Mr. Dwayne Broussard went back to, already reverted back to his other position, so. Okay. Just for the record.
Second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor? Any nays?
Nay. One nay.
One nay. Item number 4, request approval to adopt assistant parish manager job description and include an executive in organizational structural manual. Should be all in front of y'all.
Aaron, you have some other job descriptions that you're gonna be updating for upcoming meeting?
I have a few. Definitely quite a few. That they are very outdated.
Can you share the organizational structure that you come with before we get to our next meeting?
Yeah.
So that we can kind of review that and the job descriptions, just so that we have a little time to review.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes to assistant parish manager job description.
Second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
All right.
Any nays? Item 5, discuss rate and work schedule assistant parish manager may be held in executive session.
Motion to executive session.
Motion by Mr. Nakane,
Second.
second by Mr. Palmer. All in favor?
All right.
Executive session. Second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Be back in regular session. We have a motion.
So I'll make a motion that, the assistant parish manager be, moved to grade 9, step 16 at this time, and then, through the probationary period, performance will be evaluated and a merit-based increase will be provided, as necessary.
Okay, motion by Mr. Blanchard,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
Nay. Motion passes.
2 days or so.
Carter and Hunter. All right, the second part of that, discuss the work schedule of assistant parish manager.
It was, so on paper, that's an 8 to 4 schedule. I would like to see it still be Monday through Friday, 8 hours, but just go to 7 to 3. Where he's there when all the rest of the employees are there for the first hour.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'd be good with
Yeah,
that.
I'm good with that.
So it'll be 7 to,
Motion to approve Aaron's request.
7 to 3.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Palmville, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passed.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Nakane, second by Mr. Palmville, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion, meeting adjourned.
And what did I?
We'll now call the finance committee meeting to order. Let the record reflect all members are present except for Mr. Alcorn. Request approval to pay list of bills submitted through March 7th, 2025. They're included in your packet. Motion by Mr. Nakane,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to unallocate 38,525 from Gomesa Ring Levy Project to Michael Street, Joel Lamar, Street Project.
Motion.
Chris was, off a few dollars on his Gilmore project, so we're gonna reallocate some funds from the Gomesa from the ring levy projects to Chris's project there.
I
Motion
ain't
by
taking that much, Mr. Mara.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? Motion carried.
anything left over, if you got anything, send it back.
I'll send you something back.
You should have a lot left over.
Request approval to unallocate 35,971 of over allocations of Gomesa bond funds.
So this is based on our funding that we have. We have $35,971 over allocated. So we really need to, originally, we weren't concerned about that money because it appeared that we thought the Plottenville Drainage District project would come in under budget. It's not. And Ron's already saying that he's probably gonna have a change order, so he's gonna need all of the funding that he has. So that means this 35,971 won't be absorbed. So we need to deallocate this because we don't have the money.
Where the other money will come from?
Well, that's why it's up for you all to decide what project is gonna come out of.
Oh, we don't have that amount yet.
We don't have that, we're not getting that amount, not yet. We're not getting it. We had X amount to allocate and we have been over allocating.
But for now, we approved the unallocated 35,971.
We'd have to
We
identify
need
the
to
project.
identify project where it's
project.
coming out of.
I think we table it right now because we have to go through the non-bond projects and identify. There's a lot of pump projects in there that were started and not completed. We gotta clean up that, I think, and then see where we're at with the balance. I don't think it really affects us at this time, if we just table it.
It really has no connection to non-bond.
I understand, but I'm just saying, I think some of those non-bond funds are gonna be released and could be applied, for the shortage.
Okay,
We can reapply this after.
as long as everything stays under budget or at budget.
I understand. So this time, item 3 will be tabled. Request approval to transfer 90,000 to Veterans Park from Ward 789 Ring Levies Project for the matching funds for the emergency pavilion.
Yeah, so I'll put this on the agenda. This would be for the match for the emergency pavilion, which would be utilized for sandbagging operations, distribution of food, emergency foods, and any other emergency, assistance that would be needed at the Veterans Park, area. Now, make a motion that we, approve the 90,000.
And I've already spoken to Jamie about this. This is not a viable project for GOMESA funding. GOMESA funding is for
This is a
mediation.
viable project.
No, it's not,
for-
it's not,
Yes,
Jamie.
it is.
Just because it's something that would be used in the event of an emergency, it's supposed to be measures to prevent drainage and issues. A pavilion is not preventing anything.
This is an emergency pavilion. They're at the sandbagging operation where the sheriffs will bring the sandbagging machines. And
What is the?
we was working underneath tents before, Kim, with wet sand.
That doesn't.
I don't see that as a viable project.
Preventing-
If this jury wants to
preventing
approve
flooding.
that, then so be it, but I.
I have a
want to
motion
that
on the
it's not
floor.
viable.
To approve it.
A motion on the floor to approve a transfer to Veterans Park, from Ward 789 Ring Levy Project for the matching funds for the emergency pavilion by Mr. Pondville. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay,
Ayes have it.
what happens, we get charged back.
Yeah, where the money should come from.
General fund.
Not gonna get charged back.
Can't use it.
Move on.
We can't
they
just
can't
do
use
what
that
we
money
want
for
to
that.
do.
Yes, you can.
No, we can't.
Yes, you can.
In your
You
private
said we
business, you
can't.
can't.
You said we can't. We can, okay.
All right. That's all gonna be part of the record.
That's right.
Okay.
So where the money should come from?
Move on, Mr. President.
It doesn't work like that, though. Where the money should come
If you
from?
want to counter vote, action it, do it in a regular meeting. That's all we can do. It's been voted on, approved.
Next item, request approval for OSEP Director and Assistant to attend 2025 911 APCO NENA Synopsim, April 21st to 23rd, 2025 at approximately $1,400.
No, not a roof.
Gentlemen, moved on to the next item. Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval for OSEP Director and Assistant to attend Louisiana Emergency Preparedness Association Conference, May 5th to 8th, 2025 at approximately $2,100.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Motion adjourned by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Pondville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
We're gonna do road bridge.
Okay, we'll call to order the Road and Bridge Committee meeting. The record reflect all members are present except for Mr. Alcorn. First item is request approval to send letter to DOTD requesting them to replace the culvert they removed by the Napa store in Laverdale across from Highway 1.
I'll deal with that, I put that on, because, the former told me that he was getting and taking the culvert out, resurfaced. I think there's still a culvert under there, so I want the town to check on it.
We're gonna go make an assessment to see if the
Yeah.
cross culvert's still there.
I think it's still there, the culvert.
That item, okay, we entertain a motion to adjourn.
So,
Motion by Mr. Bro. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Bethune. You go with second and adjourn that meeting? Okay. Second by Mr. Bethune, all in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
All right, we called the, Engineering Grants Committee meeting in order, record reflect all members are present. First item, update from GIS Engineering, Jolimar Street Drainage Project.
Good afternoon. Joe Lamore, we're still waiting to receive the plans and the specs from, CJ Savoy to, line up the bidding process. I've reached out to him a few times, haven't heard back. I did get a response. He's on medical leave. But aside from that, I reached out one more time and I haven't heard anything back yet. So just waiting on that. Birchamville is, construction's ongoing. I will probably be out there tomorrow to, conduct some Davis Bacon interviews. Belrose Lane, have no update on that one as of now. And, Plottonville, no issues on that. We're still reviewing the certified papers.
When are we expecting the annual bid to come in for the large diameter culverts?
It's, the week of our next meeting, the week of the 26th. I think it's, yeah, it's whenever we have to open.
We'll have them for the next meeting, or will it be?
I think it's the day before the meet, so we should.
Dwayne, Libreville drainage.
Yes, sir. So I submitted the, findings and recommendations, to yourself and Aaron. Do you want me to elaborate on those findings or?
Well, you could somewhat, and you mentioned a study,
Yes, sir.
H&H study.
H&H study, yes, sir. Yes.
I'm more concerned with that and what that would do.
Okay. So, the findings and recommendations were based on field site visits, speaking with, sugarcane farmers, some surveys, culvert sizing, things of that nature. There was 5 recommendations, or 5 findings. One would be the water that's coming underneath Highway 398. The size of the culverts there and the direction of the flow of the water going towards Sophie Street. Sophie Street only has a 160 inch. There's 3 82s coming in there. It's about 8 times the water, heading towards Sophie Street. It's not adequate, it's inadequate size to accommodate that amount of water. The second recommendation second finding would be to clear out the Lavender Drainage Canal, which I believe has been done or is in the process. And also, possible dredging based on a hydraulic model, which I'll carry on to that. The third finding was, the Talbot property ditch, to reestablish that outfall that connects with just to the east of Locust Street, that drainage artery that is heading towards the Bruley Road. And in between the Bruley Road and Gene Blanchard, the farmer, whatnot, that ditch, probably needs to be adequately sized to match the water coming in. The fourth finding would have been there was a existing drainage ditch. In 2004, you can tell from the Google imagery that connected Locust Road through the Knockham property. These culverts that were put underneath Highway 1010 were put there for a reason, without getting money and resources to go to Baton Rouge to find out what the hydraulics they used to put those culverts were put there for a reason. There was ditches that went from the north to the south. I can only assume they were there to promote drainage. That ditch, at some point in time, within 23 months, the next imagery in 2005, November 2005, shows that ditch filled to about 2,900 feet of it. And then the fifth recommendation would be to dredge or to dig out from the south side of the east side, the west side ditch of Locust Road, where it goes underneath Locust, continue it south, go behind those houses and connect it to Georgia Plantation, Knockham property, ditch. That would all need to be graded out and sloped and cleaned out accordingly. I believe, well, I recommend the H&H model because it would encompass 4,500 acres essentially, from the railroad tracks all the way to the wood line, east of 398, all the way to the Georgia line, Georgia Farms line. That modeling would help us determine if the ditches, the outfall ditches that are there are adequately sized. It would involve, hydraulic study to determine culvert sizing, slopes and grades of that ditch to be able to tell if what we have existing can handle that amount of water.
I think that's proving that we knew it can't.
Right, so we were proposing the H&E study to give y'all what would need to be done to adequately handle it. Without this study, we can only have assumptions, right? Is the culverts underneath 1010 adequate enough now? Because I don't know when 1010 was built. I don't know how many houses have been built on the north side of that since then. And then hopefully we can answer some of those questions about the culverts underneath 1010. Are they still adequately sized to handle the drainage?
What kind of time frame you think on this study possible? If I say, look, we need a study done quick, what kind of time frame? The study gonna do a lot of things, we'll get a lot of great information. A lot of information we have a leg to stand on when we're asking for more money.
I'm not prepared to answer that
Okay.
at this moment, but I will have that answer for you within, middle of next week for sure. I can email y'all.
Right. I'm not opposed to doing the study whatsoever. I think the study needs to be done. I think using Go-Mesa funds, Leroy, I'm correct, we got to go off RFQs to do that.
If we're gonna use those funds for engineering services.
Well, I have the money, and engineer services, not cheap, it's professional, services, so I would recommend that we go off RFQs to do that, H&H study on the 4,500 acres in Lappinville, south of, the railroad tracks going to the wood line.
You need a motion?
Oh, you got any other more input?
I don't know that we want to limit it to the wood line though, because I think it needs to be identified if there's any opening up that needs to happen from the wood line to the lake outfalls.
All the way to Grass Lake.
They've already got outfalls that probably go at least 500 foot into the woods.
Right.
But at that time you had water grade anyway, so it's.
And some of these outfalls were done in our drainage master plan. So those surveys were done for some, I just don't know.
These are existing outfalls that have been there for. I walked them all a few months ago. They're still there.
No, I understand,
They
but
might have to be clean, but that was all part of the original drainage for that area.
right. No, and I understand, like, behind Georgia, I know there's an outfall there that was not included in the drainage master plan. I think that one would need to be included if more water's going that way, to see if any channel opening needs to happen in that area.
And that's what this study would tell us.
Right, but I
Just don't wanna restrict it
I
to
just
the
don't want to
wood line.
restrict it to the wood line. I think it
No,
needs to
I
go
got-
wherever
I got-
they need
I
to
got-
go to get
Yeah,
the outfall.
And I don't know for sure, because I haven't went on the property, but it seemed that there's a canal with some form of levee system along the wood line, and that ditch is essentially stopping natural flow of some potential drainage outfalls. I don't know when the ditch was established versus the original drainage ditches. And those are under pump by the farmers, I'm assuming. I see a few pumps in there. And so, if you continue, you're relying upon those pumps if.
So the question I'd have for you is, if the Go-Mesa funding requires us to go out for RFQ, that's at least 30 days, before we can start that study. So it's gonna delay getting the bigger study done. Is there any recommendations that you can make in the meantime that, we can do in-house to improve things that are maybe obvious to you guys, or?
So those recommendations would have been in that letter.
The Georgia.
The Georgia sluice gates to match, the intake on Sophie Street. The issue would be when you reduce that water going underneath 398, you may cause alternative flooding somewhere downstream. And that's what the study would.
Yeah, that's
Right, and I guess the question I have is if there's any recommendations that, don't have a negative impact on something else that we can do that we know would have a positive impact.
I would say the Georgia the extending the locust canal based on those elevations and get it underneath, regrading that.
We're working on Georgia.
Good.
Mr. Hebert's meeting with, landowner tomorrow, so we got progress there.
That
So,
would be, to me, there's no houses south of there, and that would take some pressure off of, the
main drainage.
the main drainage locus.
Right.
Instead of it
That's the
all-
ultimate goal, to have a couple avenues instead of
Correct.
everything passing through.
Correct.
That Advert Drainage Canal.
Correct,
And this study will help us do that,
correct.
you know. I just wish studies was quicker, you follow me, but
Did y'all study Maury drainage?
No, sir. I wasn't there.
so I would
I think
like,
you should, because we flood there. And there's houses there. Make it part of it and let's get going.
Two different projects.
Was that?
Let's start this,
Two different
let's finish this project right first.
I've been trying for.
Yeah, but you hired someone.
Yeah, yeah.
What's wrong? No, I'm not bringing up under this crap tonight, all right?
Yeah, you got someone.
Well,
You hired for
yeah,
that
you have a
already,
problem with
correct?
him, it's your problem. Don't make it mine.
Don't you have
I
a
don't wanna do
contract with
something
them?
that they, your engineer get back in.
all right, listen,
Front end.
Jeff, you wanna make a motion on it?
I would like to have a motion that we go out for RFQs to do an H&H study in Bruley Laborville.
South second.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Fonville, second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
I-
Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that we're clear on, I think that it has to be done in multiple phases for the RFQ, right? You want the H&H study,
Yeah,
but then the next phase would be to provide the design and specs for the solution
yes,
so that we can go out for bid
yes.
Yes.
to fix the project. So I just want to make sure the RFQ includes both the H&H study and the engineering solution.
Yes, the motion is that effect. Got it?
H&H study and the what?
Yes,
Design and
Engineer.
design.
That would ultimately give you a definitive plan to go back on whenever.
You got a leg to stand. Yeah. yeah.
We need
I just don't want to have to go off RFQ again.
No, I got
once
it.
this- this-
Include everything in
You
it.
need to do anything to
That
get that
will
out.
help Brianna with the
Yes.
RFQ.
All right, good, thank you, Dean. Anything else?
No, sir.
Thanks.
I mean, what about?
Update from, the Blinders Design Group?
Joe Geller with the Finance Design Group. Good news, if you remember last time we talked about the HMIA that was submitted to also Coastal Management and the Corps. They have accepted it, so the permit is pretty much in the mitigation stage. Good news. Bad news is that they are questioning the habitat type, whether it's bottomland hardwood, cypress tupelo swamp. That's where we said it was. They're trying to say, hey, it may be emergent marsh. It's not, and if it were, it'd be a lot more expensive, right? And so we're gonna schedule a site visit with the Corps, trying to get them out here within the next 2 weeks to go and see for themselves that, hey, they're in the wrong type, right? We don't want to be mitigating for emergent marsh. And so, and it's not that. I mean, it's, it's our feeling they should be able to see it easily, but, anyhow, that's it. That'll be once they do that, they'll give us the assessment and we'll go through the mitigation process, pay the mitigation, and that permit is secured. I have your final copy. We had no comments last week on the technical memorandum that we gave you guys. So I have your final copy, which I'll give to you now. And I still owe you a proposal. We're working through with some geotechs to try and get a number that would be having 9 different sections. They want to do 9 different holes, and we're trying to cut that back. So I'll have that by Friday for you. So,
And maybe we'll just add that you sent us a draft letter to send out to the residents in the area of Gerald Street.
yes.
And
Yes, sir.
I know Mr. Pineville and I both have that. Right now.
Through the mitigation process, if you don't own the property, you have to notify the landowners that there's gonna be a mitigation, that their land will be impacted and will be mitigated for. They have to be aware of that. So they receive a letter explaining it, which I circulated for review. And then they will receive a copy of the permit application. Once they have that, there's if you have a question, call this number. When the reason that we we coordinated with you guys, is we didn't want to send that letter out without you guys knowing about it. Somebody starts getting a letter, starts asking
Right.
their juror, what is this? And that's just nice words, and, it'd be a problem for you guys, so. So, we got the blessing on that, and those went out today.
Good. Right. Thanks. Any questions for? Thank you, sir. Next item, update from Infinity Engineering on Parish-wide sewer plant improvement project. Brian, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Sir.
I don't have any updates, besides the fact that yesterday we had a meeting with the grant coordinator who's working on front ends. Once we get the front ends tied up, we can go to bid.
That's good news.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
Update from the council grant coordinator. Press approve and authorize the president to sign the agreement for LA Highway 403 sideway project. Your recommendation? There's a motion? Motion by Mr.
Oh, I
Carter.
ain't on the board.
Motion by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Diaz. All in favor? Opposed? That carries. What else, ma'am?
Update from ELOS, we're still waiting on a revised proposal from the engineer for Constant Canal. Bayou St. Vincent, the RFQ for engineering closes on March 20th. And I have a deviation. LDHD-Q certification form is due tomorrow. This is for the LCDBG projects. It's a requirement for all applications. Therefore, I'm requesting approval and authorization for the president to sign the certification form.
What is it again?
The LDHDEQ certification form.
This is
It was
for the,
sent today.
CDBG, the sewer streets and, yeah, that application that we have to do the different public hearings. This form is a formality that has to be filled out in advance of the public hearings. I think we have it on here to call for a public hearing tonight for that process.
You need a motion to do it.
You need the president to sign that? Mike, I need a DV or we just take that out?
I think you good with just accepting the recommendation
Yeah.
from the grant
All right,
coordinator.
make a motion to accept the recommendation.
We'll, motion made by Mr. Diaz, accept the recommendation from the grants coordinator, second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor? Opposed? That carries.
Hey, Ray, y'all meeting on the front end documents. What's your time span? How much is left?
Ebony was doing a little bit more research, but she's working on that. I'll touch base with her again. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
that's it.
All right. Update from South Central Planning and Development Commission. Somebody there?
They said they weren't,
If there was coming today.
but we were asked to put that item on.
I got you.
Right, so following up a meeting with, the sheriff, judges, Representative Brown, Senator Alain. Senator Alain asked us to, consider applying for a capital outlay project for the new courthouse complex so that they can get it in a position to begin, searching for some funding for that project. So, they asked us to put that on the agenda for consideration.
It don't cost nothing to ask, right?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
South Central Planning wants an increase of $30,000, so they're probably not gonna do anything additional until that's addressed.
All right. There's a deadline for that capital outlay.
Yeah, the deadline's actually already passed, but they said so long as we can get it submitted before the session begins, that they can move that in the committee
What's
to,
the session?
here.
I think with June.
No, it's gonna be before that. I don't know, they just said we needed to get it in as soon as possible, so that's why it's on the agenda.
Let's get it in, Joe.
Let's put it in. We'll deal with South Central Planning later.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Diaz,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Do we send a letter or are you gonna speak to Kevin?
Yeah, I can get with Kevin and ask him.
Yeah.
We better go that route then.
Take one for the team. All right. Update on fire hydrant projects?
Yes, sir. I spoke with the contractor that's responsible for the project.
He's meeting with the Lewis Fire Chief tomorrow to finalize his list because there was some issues with that list, and he says hopefully by, Friday, he was trying to start on the job. He was made aware of the fact that his time frame is very short. He has to, I think Ms. Kim said probably May 1st or May 2nd, he has to finish his job. There's a 45-day lien on the grant that we have to hold for, contingencies and stuff. So he has to have all his paperwork in for May 1st. So he no longer can go to June 30th. He has to be finished for May 1st. So he's made aware of that. So he's got to hustle. He says we'll probably put 2 crews on it. So he's looking like he knows he has to get on the job. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on him and make sure he,
Paul, in addition, he has till May 3rd to finish, and we'd have to call a special meeting that next meeting to approve the substantial completion to be within that 45 days.
June
Before June
30th.
30.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I'm staying on it.
All right. And you got started.
No, sir, he hadn't got started yet. There were issues with the list.
The list.
And
Okay.
there was some backdoor with, after the list, I sent the list, and then some people made some adjustments that I wasn't aware of, and it kind of confused Georgia, so I'm not blaming Sawa. But we got it straight today. So, yes, sir, just got it straight today.
Is this change order necessary today?
This is the same one from
No,
last
from
meeting.
last
We didn't
meeting.
know whether to put it back or not. So if y'all tell us not to entertain it anymore.
No.
Okay,
Take it off.
I agree on that.
okay.
Hey, how you change something you didn't start yet? Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Update on Ag Center roof project?
I have no update, you got,
No update, huh?
I know the,
in contact with Joseph and.
I talked to Hope today, and the pre-bid conference and the bid opening has been scheduled because they called to use our meeting room. So that has been scheduled for April 6th and 12th, maybe,
All right.
for the Ag Center and the Bell Rose Library Walking Track. Those.
One thing on the Ag Center, I know the concession stand is part of this item. I spoke to Ms. Margot, and I think there was some miscommunication there as to whether the concession stand can be used or not by the Ag Center. They were never really told that it shouldn't be used, so I just wanted to bring that up and see. And I don't know, Aaron, can you speak to it? Is the concession stand, as it sits right now, condemned and no one should be occupying it?
No, you could still, well, it was the, men's bathroom that has been made into the women's. Cause we bring portalets out there, or if there's an event. The kitchen itself is fine. The issue is on the other side of the kitchen wall, on the old female bathroom side. Yeah, I mean, we test ran the hood for a while. Nothing seems to be, I guess, really unsafe about it. It's just, again, we wanted to close it off whenever we got closer to construction. We have to move all the stuff out, so. It's
Operational until
you still use it.
Okay, I just want, because I know in the past when FFA rented the facility, we were told they couldn't use the concession stand, they had to make do. So I just want to make sure
Yeah, I
that,
think the last time there was some, because I think we were gonna start working on it. I think that was kind of the confusion last time.
April 2nd and April 16th, I'll confirm those dates.
for bid.
April 2nd is the pre-bid conference and April 16th is the bid opening. That's for the concession stand at the Ag Center and the Bell Rose Library Walking Track.
Update on courthouse renovations project?
So I did have a conversation with, Chris with Keith Lotz today. We'll be on site Monday, the 17th, to, get the additional information that are provided for him that was requested from the architects. So we'll be here, getting the types, the measuring the pipes and getting the additional information that was requested. He scheduled it for Monday morning.
Will the architects be here as well?
I can reach out to John and get him here, so all the information is put together.
We gotta get moving on that project.
No problem. Yep, yes, sir, but I did speak to him today.
I have one more item, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Judge seat, lease, the, Franklin Street location is no longer viable. So I'm asking that the jury move forward with a commercial lease for 511 Congress Street.
That is the Simmons and Savoy office where Judge Walterman Menard already has some situated office space. So we're gonna move forward with that. I just need authorization to finish transcribing the lease and authorizing the president to sign.
Motion to,
into commercial lease with Southwark.
Correct. On 511 Congress Street.
motion to approve whatever he needs to do.
Did you give up?
Mike, they put a price out there?
Yes, we're gonna be, it's a good price.
Good
It's
price.
it's within the rate, market study that we did previously. And we're working through some of the negotiations relative to what renovations need to be done, but the landowner, the landlord will handle all of those independently for us. But if there's anything else, I'll bring it back at the next meeting to discuss.
Good deal.
This is something that's gonna,
It's gonna work
shoot
great.
better move it soon.
Very soon,
I
yes,
went-
it's gonna
I
work
went
great.
to that
It's
meeting.
very good. It's working
All
very
right.
Big old building in there.
Yes.
Big in
Yeah,
there.
good on it. Good. All right,
So I
motion
just
by
need
Mr. Diaz,
authorization
second
for
by
the
Mr.
president to sign.
Fonzell. Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval for a public hearing on identification of a project for the Louisiana Community Development Block Grant for funding.
Mr. Chair, I put this on the agenda, just having some conversation with South Central Planning. And also, me and, Melissa and Kim and I kind of had a conversation on, especially, pertaining to the sequence of order, as you apply for this CDBG grant. So it starts off with the concern from the residents in a public hearing. So hopefully we could have that at the next meeting.
So we need to call for a public
We
hearing.
need to call for a public hearing.
And the public hearing, just to let you all know, is going to be very specific as to what types of projects can be used with this money and the amount of money available. So then what happens is we encourage the public to come and state their wishes for usage of the money, and then the jury chooses a project.
All right, motion to call for a public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Burrow, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Next item, request approval of the existing manufactured home park rental property, Griffin's Trailer Park, with rentals on Highway 70, Reynolds Street, Tusk Street, North Curtis Street, and Davis Street, and adopt properties as a parish recognized manufactured home park rental property, Griffin. Ward 8 and 9.
This is an existing manufactured home park that's been there since before our ordinance was established. Unlike several others this year, moved a mobile home in and new one in and an old one out. So we're making them, basically come in compliance with the ordinance and, adopting it as an official mobile home park.
Motion to approve. With your recommendation.
Yes,
sir.
yeah, they are ready, they just haven't been.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Ponville, second by Mr. Matern. All in favor?
Aye.
Any other business? Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, you got 5 minutes. You can't send them.
12.
All right. We'll call to order for our public hearing at 5:50 regarding the amendments to communication tower ordinance. Is there any public comment regarding the amendments to the communications tower ordinance? Second call. Last call. Let the record reflect no public comment for the public hearing. Entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Nakam. Second by Mr. Mathern. Public hearing adjourned.
I got 8 minutes.
How many minutes they got?
8.
Hey, y'all wanna go
We'll call to order the regular meeting of Central Parish Village Jury for Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Let the record reflect all members are present. Please rise for our prayer and followed by a pledge. God, who teaches us by sending the light of the Holy Spirit into our hearts, grant that by the light of that Spirit, right judgment may be ours, and that we may ever find joy in his guidance. Amen.
Pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time we accept any corrections to the minutes that were sent to you for February 26, 2025 for the regular meeting prior to approval. Hearing no corrections, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. All right, public comment period. This time we have public comment for any item on the agenda. Second call.
Y'all on the agenda already for item number.
You'll come up during your specific item on the agenda. That's right.
No, they're not on there.
Yes, go ahead. Well,
Are they on there, Paul? No, that's the one on the highway. That's the one for sanitation. That part.
Where's the one with Ms. Lauren?
Number 12.
Okay, we're gonna, y'all item
Yeah,
come up
that's number 12.
Yeah.
Last call for public comment.
Hey, Mr. Chair, just for the record, item number 9 in engineering grants, as pertains to the public hearing for the next meeting. I do have, residents from the Belrose community, that will be expressing a viable project. And, just want to let them know that, please come to the next meeting where we will have a public hearing as it pertains to the CDB grant funding for viable roads, sewer, and all other projects with this grant. So I just want to put that on for the record.
Thank you. All right. Public comment period closed. Next item, Drainage Committee report, Chairman Ponville.
Yes, sir. The Drainage Committee meeting was held this afternoon at 4 o'clock. All members were present. Items number 2 and 3 were tabled. Item number 4, we approved the purchase of 16-inch slow lift pump and materials for Andrea Street. We approved the additional funds for project 93-233. We approved to lower the culverts at the proper elevation at 200 block of View Street. We approve additional funds for project 93-245. We approve the purchase of 8-inch low lift pump for View Street. We approve additional fundings for projects numbers 93-223, 93-222, 92-886, 92-980. We approve additional funds to deliver an excavator in Ward 9. We approve the additional funds to move the excavator in Ward 9 again. Item 14. Item number 15, we approve to purchase a new pump, gearhead, and deck reconstruction materials for Crossler Ward 9. I present this all in form of a motion. So,
Got one correction, Jamie.
yes, sir.
Item number 2 was not tabled, but that's the one that we approved.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. No, we approved, Mr. Aaron to get with Chris to, go and look at this project and see what could be done there. Sorry about that.
Mr. Chair, on item number 15, I think, believe they do already. They purchased the pump. Only thing they need is the gearbox
The gearbox.
and the deckhead construction.
Correct. Yeah.
Motion to accept the chair's report
Second.
by Mr. Ponville, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Personnel Committee report, Chairman Diaz.
Personnel Committee met at 4:29. All members were present. Item one, we tabled. You want to do that one after?
Yeah, we could.
All right. Two, we approved to change the personnel manual section 10-2 insurance premiums must be in hand prior to the month of coverage. No advance employees allowed. Three, we approved the end of probationary period for Brian Blankenship, Paul Abad, Kent Brewer, Rusty Joa, Dwayne Broussard. We approved to adopt assistant parish manager job description included in the organizational structure. Number five, we approved the grade 8, step 16 for the assistant parish manager.
Right. 9,
Step 9.
grade 9.
Grade 9, step 16.
Yeah.
Performance, his performance will be evaluated during his probationary period and merit will be, based on that. We also approved the, his work hours 7 to 3 on a 5-day work schedule. I present all of this in the form of a motion.
All right, let's go ahead and discuss.
Number one,
Item one.
discuss
before we-
the grants coordinator position.
Yeah, Mr. Chair,
Can we
I've
just
had
get a
some.
motion on that? That way
Oh, yeah,
that clears
go
out.
ahead, go ahead.
Motion, on the floor by Mr. Diaz to accept his report. Entertain a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, now,
Opposed? Motion carried.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I've had some conversation, with Kim, also Ms. Brietta and also Ms. Tawana, in regards to the grant position. After speaking with all these ladies and also with all the duties that Ms. Brietta has, that the grants position and the jobs that she's doing is just, a little bit too much, and it's becoming a little bit overbearing on her based off her other duties. So after speaking with Ms. Tyler, I asked her the question if does her day-to-day duties allow her to kind of potentially be the grants coordinator, handle those duties based off what Rietta has been doing. And she said, yes, that's something that she would like to do, if given the opportunity. And but she asked me, would you, if the jury approves, would you allow at least 90 days for her to really get acclimated and work with Ms. Rietta to be able to do the job? So.
It'd be real easy if we could say how many days it's gonna take to
Right.
X-ray it.
Well, she just put a
There's
number
no
out
such
there
thing.
to me. So, you know, I mean, Rihanna has done an outstanding job. She's done the best that she could with it. She also has a lot on her plate, with everything that she does in the office now, with accounts payable and all this other stuff. My motion on the floor would be to, allow Ms. Rietta and Ms. Tawana to work together with that process within the 90 days, but share half of the $3,000 allocation until the baton is passed to Ms. Tawana. And if those ladies would like to say anything on behalf of what I've said, they have the floor to do it. Y'all got any questions, anything regarding to
I
them?
just don't know when I would have time to be able to, I mean, say train, but I mean, Melissa helps me because I'm still learning. I just don't know when we would find the time to be able to work together.
What's your thoughts, Tawana?
I guess once I start getting emails and an insight on what I need to do, I can possibly, work at it.
She would have to put you on the email thread on everything that she's getting and what she's gotten. Maybe you just would have to find time to go jump in there with her or Melissa.
I'll ask her a lot of questions.
I think correct me if I'm wrong, Rietta, but I think the biggest thing about this is having the time to get on the phone and speaking to each different agency or manager that we have and asking the questions. And Rietta just doesn't have the available time to devote to that.
Yeah.
For anybody, that's what it takes. It's almost, you know,
Is she gonna have the time?
I mean,
That's a big question.
She don't know, that's why I think she's doing the 90
Well,
days.
that's why I asked for at least 90 days, just to see if I would have the time to make sure everything's accurate and going.
Because at times your office will get busy.
but at lots of times they're not. And I mean, the staffing right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all not fully busy. The three ladies
I'm
they have.
along with funding, but next month, we know.
Okay, but I mean, 1 month out of, you know, We need to be able to utilize that office and that personnel more. So.
Okay, I second the motion that we give this a try and I'll revisit in 90 days, see how it work out.
Ms. Torres, where's that $3,000 allocation coming from? Is it general fund?
It's split amongst general fund, drainage, and 1%.
Because of the grants, where they come
The effect on.
They affect all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay with it? You're good? Are you okay with it, Ms. Rhea?
Brianna, now's your time to speak.
You
I mean,
gotta
do you have
speak up,
anything?
you have a hold your peace.
Have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Carter, that we begin transitioning, the grant coordinator position, from Ms. Bro to Ms. Tyler. With a split of the allocation for that position, for a period of 90 days. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Brianna, could you please notify South Central Planning that to include both of y'all? I know in our agreement, you were the only contact, but we need to update that with them to include both of y'all for now.
Can we get a motion to that effect, just to make sure that they accept that?
Oh.
To add both
Okay.
of them?
Motion.
Motion by Mr.
add
Diaz to add
Kamala to the
Ms.
list.
Tyler to South Central Planning's list of approved
Contact.
contacts
Yes.
to discuss projects with the parish.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pineville, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Finance Committee report, Finance Committee, met earlier today, all were present except for Mr. Alcorn. We approved the pay list of bills submitted through March 7th, 2025. We approved to unallocate $38,525 from Gomesa Ring Levy Project to Michael Street, Jolamore Street Project. We approved to, we tabled the unallocation of the current Overage Gomesa projects. Once some of these projects start coming in, we get actual bids and we can see where we're at and how we have to shift funds around, but at this time, we'll table that. We approved to transfer $90,000 to Veterans Park from Ward 789 Ring Levy Project for the matching funds for the emergency pavilion. We approved for the OSEP director and assistant to attend the 2025 911 APCO NEA synopsim, April 21st to 23rd, 2025 at a cost of $1,400. We also approved for the OSEP director and the assistant to attend the Louisiana Emergency Preparedness Association Conference, May 5th through 8th, 2025 at a cost of $2,100. Entertain a motion to accept this report.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Ponville.
I got a question on number 4. I would like to see before we spend $90,000 out of make some money that it is a viable expense. And it is, I'm all for it, but this general fund can get afforded to be charged back $90,000 if it's not a viable project.
It is. I'll get it to you in writing. It is.
Gotcha, but I like to see for all of us to see it in writing.
And you did ask for where would the funding come. Currently, the Veterans Park has that money in their budget for a match.
They're gonna use that, they took that money and took it from that, fund. They cut out a project from, to get this 90,000, so.
I'm just speaking based on the budgets that were turned into us. It's in there.
Have a motion by Mr. Mathern to accept the Finance Committee report. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ponville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 4.
Nay on 4 also.
Motion carried.
James, I still like to see.
Yes. Good.
Road and Bridge Committee meeting was held at 5:14 today. Chairman Alcorn, was the only person absent. The one item on the agenda was tabled. I think Mr. Brewer is still addressing that issue.
Motion to accept your report.
Motion to accept report by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Diaz. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Engineering Grants Committee report, Chairman Nakam.
Yes, Engineering Grants Committee met, all members are present. We had an update from GIS Engineering on Jonamore Street, Perchardville Drainage Project, Belrose Lane Drainage Project, Platteville Drainage Project, and, Liveville Drainage project. We requested to go, out for, quotes for an H&H study for Bruley Laverdeville, that includes the study and also project and design. We had an update from the Planners Assigned Group on Gerald Street Levy Project and Ring Levels at Fairport. We had an update from Infinity Engineering on Parish Wide Sewer Plans Project. We had an update on Accounts Grants Coordinator, and we requested approval and authorize the president to sign the agreement with LE 403 Sidewalk Project, and also the president to sign LDHDQ certification form. Nobody was here from South Central Planning, but we did request approval and authorize South Central Planning to submit a capital outlay application for the Assumption Parish Courthouse Complex, inclusive of OEP 911. Updated fire hydrant project from Mr. Paul LeBlanc. We had updated Ag Center roof project. Updated courthouse renovation project. And also, we're gonna enter into a commercial lease with Sabwa, similar to Sabwa Insurance at 511 Congress Street for the House Judge. He's working out details. Next item, we request approval for a public hearing on identification of project for the Louisiana Community Development Block Grant for funding. We approved the existing manufactured home park rental property known as Griffin's Trailer Park. Present you that in the form of a motion.
Chair, question. Kind of missed this, update from Infinity. Where are we with that, with the sewer water treatment?
Waiting on those front end documents still.
How far are we out with those documents?
So they were sent, I believe it was yesterday from,
No, they weren't
Monday?
sent. They had a meeting yesterday and they're still working on it.
no, but she sent some, Infinity sent additional information to Ebony to start working on.
Yes, she did.
So Ebony has that information now, and she's reviewing it to incorporate those documents. The front end documents, and it's part of the specification package. There are some items in there that, the parish attorney is gonna have to review. But I know Ms. Bailey's working on it.
Okay.
I know she's trying to get it done quick. We don't have an exact timeline yet. But she is moving with it. So a motion by Mr. Nakane to accept that report. Sir, second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, public hearing report. Prior to tonight's meeting at 5:50, we had a public hearing regarding amendments to the communications tower ordinance. At that meeting, there was no public comment. So now I entertain a motion to approve the amendments to the Assumption Parish Code of Ordinance, Chapter 5, Building and Construction Regulations, Subchapter D, Communications Towers, Section 5-116 and Section 5-117. Motion to accept by Mr. Mathern.
Sure.
Second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss issues arising with the Consolidated Sewer District Household Connections. Ms. Lauren Como.
I don't think she's here.
I made the request and never got a response.
All right, Paul.
But the emails I got from her, I emailed her last week to go inspect the property at, it's 5447 Highway 1. She said she would try, but then she sent me an email back stating that this is her quote. The owner has asked us not to come on the property, so unfortunately, without a reason to believe there is an imminent health hazard, we will honor her request for now. So, they will not go inspect the property, and, I can see that the two owners are right here. So it's the jury's discretion to decide what's the next step.
First of all,
How you all doing?
yes, my name is Rose Cambria. Okay, first I'm being charged for sewage, in which I'm not even using a sewage plant, because there is no sewage drainage that's in my front lawn, neither in my back. Yellow. So therefore, I'm being charged $33 a month
How many months you been charged, man?
ever since October.
Okay.
And I have a sewage tank, a plant in my yard. You came to my house, you saw the plant. Paul LeBlanc, did check for sewage drainage pipes at the front as well as the back. There is none. So he told me to get an estimate on how much it would charge to run to the next street, which I did, which is gonna cost $30,000. So who's gonna pay for that?
And plus, for her to go to the next street to run, she would have to go cross somebody else's property, so she had to get permission for them to run across their property, first of all. And once before, like I always said, it's a state law that says everybody should be paying, but the state don't want to enforce it. Okay, so if the state don't want to enforce it, we don't have the authority to enforce it. It's a state law. She got her own sewer plant. I went out there, I talked with her, I visited. I saw the plant, pretty, well-designed plant. I don't see nothing wrong with it. The state refused to go out and do an inspection unless it's a health hazard. So if they don't want to enforce it, I feel like the parish have no other choice but to reimburse the people their money.
Excuse me? Yes, I've been working for the state 20 years. And I work with a lot of these people in, here in the parish too, because I work right here in Boynville for the state. And we never do stuff halfway. I work with a lot of these guys down here. And we always work together. And we always do things the right way. We don't do things halfway. Who would like to tell me what one of you would like to be giving up $50 a month for something that you cannot use?
So my motion today is that we reimbursing the money we've been charging them, because it's clear that they're not connected to the system. They have no way to connect to the system.
How much money it is?
It's like $33 a month for how many months?
Since October.
I think I'm not disagreeing with your motion there at all, but where this residence is located, I don't think they should have ever been included in the sewer district to begin with. I think that was the error at that time, because the line doesn't service their property.
That's right.
Does it service next door to the property?
No, it's the street behind the property that it services. So like I said, it would have to go through a neighbor's property to get to the line. Their frontage is on Highway 1. The residents on Highway 1 are not serviced by the sewer district. I think they were inadvertently included in the sewer district.
They're on the maps, yes, they're on the
And
maps.
that property should be removed
It
from
should
the
be
sewer
removed
district
from the
because they
sewer
don't
district.
have access to the sewer.
Right.
I think that's the appropriate action, that we remove that property from the sewer
And
district.
the as-built drawings show that they are connected.
The drawings are incomplete. The proposed drawings show that there should be a line there, but the as-built, they don't show a line. They show diameter like round circles where there should be a hookup, but there's no diagonal line going to Charles Street like
How many
Chris
do we
said.
have like this, Chris? That you know?
I don't know how many have like that. I have no idea.
Like Chris said, they show the line where it's supposed to run, is supposed to run through somebody else's property under a fence. And there's a tree there, so I can tell they never did any type of excavations because they had
This
to
was
go.
back 30 years ago.
No, it's
20 years ago.
30 years.
20 years ago. So yeah, I don't see any type of excavation there, whatever. We went with a probe and everything. We tried with a probe, we couldn't find.
I haven't had any other complaints as of yet. So
Let's
I
just exclude them from the
Yeah.
district.
exclude them from the district and reimburse them. their money.
I'm good with that.
Well, not just do that. Who's gonna contact the waterworks to have them excluded from paying surge? Because that's gonna be a reoccurring effect if we don't.
No,
Well, it's the
No, we
same
do that.
process
We
that
do
they.
That's the
that
same
they
process.
have
we do.
on the reverse.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
take
we have
care
a
of that.
process for that. Yes.
I'll second Chris's.
I have a motion on the floor by Mr. Carter, that the property, the property address of 5447 Highway 1 be removed from the Bertrandville Sewer District that it was inadvertently added to whenever the project was formed. And also reimburse that resident for the charges that they have incurred since October of 24. And seconded by Mr. Pineville. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you all.
If y'all could just give Miss Rayetta y'all mailing address so I can be sure I get that that check to the proper address.
Any other items for, item 12? Is this the only one?
That's the only one.
All right, Paul, will you follow up with the sanitarian and let her know? Yes, sir. Jury's course of action. Thank you. Discuss sewer at 144 Bertrand Street and 5452 Douglas Street.
Okay, Ms. White put this on here. I don't think she's in the audience tonight, but this is something that we already approved over a month and a half ago. I spoke with Aaron about it. He wasn't aware that it was approved at the jury already. So they're gonna work on trying to get stuff taken care of.
Yep. So no action.
No action on that.
Next item, discuss drainage concerns on Cherry Street in Laverdeville. Ms. Newman?
Good evening, I'm
Good
Vanessa
evening.
Newman. I reside at 443 Cherry Street in Labadyville. Well, thank you, Jeff. It seems as though GIS answered most of my questions, and I appreciate that. So I'd like to thank the jury for all that y'all have done for us. But still, there are some drainage ditches for neighboring landowners that became canals. And it's draining in the Labadyville Canal. So I think what you guys, the studies and what you all are doing, it's gonna take a while. So I'm sure it's gonna rain and I'm sure we're gonna flood. And I hope that you guys can come up with something pretty quick to take care of that. Okay, and that's all I've got to say. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Next item, discuss drainage concerns on Bruley Road in Laverdeville. Mr. Sedatow.
Hey, Robert Sedatow, 726 Bruley Road. I appreciate all the work everybody's been doing to help us. I know y'all know we got an issue. More outlets is a plus for us. But something's going on in the woods further back. We dug a bunch of ditches. They full of water. I went and looked this evening before I came to the meeting. For freshly digging ditches, it looks like some of the water should be going, but it's sitting there full. So I'm scared we get a rain, we're gonna get flooded again. Plus, one thing I said, if we get some more outlets between, Locust Street, if we can dam or take that culvert out of there underneath Locust, if we get them other outlets on that side, get that culvert out from underneath Locust to kind of even help us even a little more. Is that something we can do?
Maybe. If they give me the recommendation to do it and make sure it don't affect anybody else, put water in the other houses, so I'll entertain it.
Right. So
Just
I
gotta make sure
recently
that'll
moved.
work.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, but I just gotta make sure they're working
And I'm good with that. I've been talking with Dwayne, trying to get stuff going. I appreciate all your help. Like I said, the other outlets that we proposing to get, if we do get them, did anybody else go ride those outlets? Because some of them, even the one on the Georgia line to Narcan property is full of water. And it looks like it would, like Leroy said earlier, need to go in the woods. It need to go out. It's not going out.
Right,
It's sitting in there on them properties.
right. And I think, Mr. Bears meet with a landowner tomorrow, so then we'll discuss that and he'll give us a go ahead. We'll go as far as we can go.
All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Robert.
Thank
Thank you.
Next item, Assumption Foundation of the Arts check presentation.
We're gonna move it to the next. Oh, no.
Jim.
Okay. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I think Joshua-
Josh has
He
changed.
sent somebody else.
Got some money.
All right, so as y'all know, we did accept the check from Humana and we're gonna be
Just
presenting it to
introduce
y'all.
everyone.
My name is Chet Bro. I'm a member of the board of directors for the Assumption Foundation for the Arts. It's our pleasure to partner with such wonderful student leaders from Laverdeville Middle Beta Club and with Beta Club students who have spearheaded this project and did the work for the community that have now moved on to Assumption High School. Thank you to the great team at the LSU Ag Center for the Assumption Parish and Humana, which was a generous donor, for allowing us to partner on this project. We thank Humana Healthy Horizons Initiative for investing in the health, well-being, and happiness of our families and communities in Assumption Parish. Thank you also to the police jury for your support, additional funding, and hands for this project. We are transferring the awarded amount of $55,000 to the police jury so this project can take full advantage of your tax-free buying power. As a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we must still pay taxes on purchases like these. But by transferring the funds, we'll be able to make these grant dollars go a bit further. These funds are being transferred in good faith and are to be earmarked for the purchase of playground equipment at the Maury Park and used for that purpose only. We ask that before any purchase agreement is entered into and or purchases are made, you contact Joshua A. Barrett, president of the Assumption Foundation for the Arts, and Miss Maria Gonzalez of the LSU Ag Center to review. Again, thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing this project break ground as soon as possible. I'd like to present this check to the president.
Be glad to take it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bro.
So is there a plan? What type of equipment?
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah,
know what-
it was.
Yeah, so it's, right, it's similar to the community build that was done in Lavendale. I'm sorry, in Belrose.
Okay.
This is a similar project that's being spearheaded by the LSU Ag Center.
Okay, so we're gonna have to go out and get that equipment? $50,000.
No, it's gonna be, same as it's all on state contract
Oh,
pricing,
okay.
just like it was.
Okay.
The purchase is actually gonna be made through the Ag Center. And they will bill us for that portion. I'll work out the details.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Next item is request approval of proclamation declaring April 2025 Fair Housing Month.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Proclamation passed. Request approval to adopt resolution for residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan.
What that is?
That's all required through these
It's not the
LCDBG
packet.
and
You
disaster.
have it, just a free paper.
Okay.
Yours is in the packet, this
That's
is,
something we do every year.
but
Requirement.
I can read it to you, it's real short. It's a whereas the Parish of Assumption may receive CDBG Disaster Recovery Program funds and a Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Program in the coming fiscal year. And whereas both the LCDBG and CDBR-DR programs require that all grant recipients adopt by resolution a residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan. The parish hereby adopts such.
I make a motion.
Motion to adopt the resolution by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Bro. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the first phase of the derelict structure procedure for dwelling located at 128 College Point Lane.
Yes, Mr. Chair, if y'all look, it's in your packet, and I'm gonna get, I got a motion.
Second.
Tab number 19.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to amend ordinance 25-02 to levy the removal and disposal of derelict structure in the amount of $4,253.60.
So move. The second.
Motion by Mr. Ponville, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to amend ordinance 25-03 to levy grass cutting charges totaling $1,046.50.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the following occupational licenses: Rustic Rose Western Boutique LLC, Napoleonville, GIS Engineering Galliano, Premier Collision Center LLC, Napoleonville, The Blue Tavern, Napoleonville, and Cajun Spicy LLC, Pierpont.
The Blue Tavern, I have an issue with that still.
they just did an occupational license with no alcohol.
Yeah, but
This one is.
if you check with Miss Ann, the property is on, is not big enough for two businesses. That's the second issue that they face. I already informed them of that already.
Okay, so we need to table that.
Well, do for the rest of it. All right, motion on the floor, by Mr. Mathern to approve all but the Blue Tavern. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ponville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the following temporary liquor license applications. Terry Thibodeau, 122 Verrett Lane, Platteville, Louisiana, doing business as Crew of Xanadu. April 25th, 2025 to April 26th, 2025. Motion by Mr. Diaz,
Second.
second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. We have a second temporary liquor license application for Amber Cavier, 1213 Highway 662, Morgan City, doing business as Autism Society Bayou. April 25th, 2025 to April 26th, 2025. Motion by Mr. Patero. Second by Mr. Bro. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by Mr. Ponville. Second by Mr. Diaz. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Huh? I got you and